Hey, good morning, my sunshiners, my joyful money savers, all my friends. How you doing out there? I hope that this audio video finds everybody doing well. Of course, next to me, I have my instant coffee with me, my 10-cent cup of Joe. If you spent more than $1 on your cup of coffee today, you spent way more than you should. Just saying, just saying. Always a reminder to you, and I hope that everyone is doing well. Many of us have different styles of keeping our homes, our apartments clean. Now, some people are weekend warriors. What do I mean by that? They kind of let things pile up all week long, and then they jump in on the weekend and they're like really in it, like in it. And then before you know it, the weekend is over and then you're back to work. Where did the weekend go? Not so sure about that style. I think there has to be some sort of a healthy balance. So I came up with the ways that have worked for me. And not only that, they are low cost ways to clean. I'm not so much going to focus on let's say cleaning fluids, cleaning chemicals, but ways, methods, things that I do and they don't cost you anything. Just saying. There will be a couple of mentions of some cleaning things to use, but I want to first get into the mentions. Okay, let's go. So here we go. And this one, I'm sure everyone probably heard before. Many of you probably do. Maybe some of us could practice doing it more. However, I can rest assured and tell you this for sure and for true. This absolutely works 100% of the time. Now it comes to being more mindful. What am I talking about? Basically, it's this: clean up and tidy up as you go along throughout your day. Let's say you made a mess in the kitchen, right? Before you even go to another room, clean up that little mess right away. If you have stuff that should go back inside of your cupboards or your cabinets or whatever you want to call them, do it. If you have one or two little itty bitty teensy dishes to rinse and to wash, don't put it off till later. If you take care of that immediately, it'll probably take you a couple of seconds. I mean it, literally, a couple of seconds to give it a fast rinse, maybe a little dash of that good old soap that I recommend with letter D. And you know the one I'm talking about. Listen, do it easy and work as you go along. Another thing, let's say you're on the telephone and you happen to be on a personal call. And the person that you're talking to, you love talking to them, but they do take up a lot of your time. And you really want to get things done. Put that person on speaker. I'm sure 99% of the time they don't mind it. Ask them, do you mind if I put you on speaker? That way you can continue to work as you go along and you are multitasking. Has it ever happened to you that you intended to do something? You got one of those longer calls, and then, oh, shoot, an hour went by, and then you had to leave. Then you had to come back and face the mess later. While you have an opportunity, take that moment to multitask. Now, not long ago, I did a video about, this monster that lives inside of many of our homes. What am I talking about? It's a monster that takes up half of your laundry, that consumes half of people's regular washing machine space, not to mention dryer time. What I'm talking about simply is a very, very humongous towel. The towels that people generally like to use for bath towels. I personally am not a fan. If you didn't hear that video or see it, I am not a fan of oversized bath towels. First of all, in my case, I'm not the tallest person in the world. So if the bath towel is 10 times my size, you see where I'm going with this. But to me, they are heavy, they are bulky, they take up way too much laundry space, cost you more money in detergent, more money with hot water, more money in the dry. You see where I'm going with this? In my opinion, getting a smaller towel, a few of those, to me is a lot better. Just saying, just saying. Next, make one pot meals as much as possible. This is another reason why I push my favorite friend, my slow cooker friend. I can cook in bulk, for example. I can use one pot. I could get everything I need for my one meal, my vegetables, my starch, my protein. I could do it all in one pot. Now, sometimes people only prefer for whatever, their recipe calls for, doing the, let's say their protein, a chicken breast or their beef or whatever, and that's totally fine. But isn't cleaning out a slow cooker so much easier than cleaning out 5 pans, 5 pots? To me, it is. It saves you time, effort, energy, and even money because you're not using tons and tons of soap and all this and all that. Reduce your cleanup is a very easy, realistic, low cost way to keep clean. By the way, while you're at it, at the same time, if you cook in bulk, that's great meal planning. And you could take the leftovers, put them in the freezer for convenient future meals. Not only did you reduce your mess, but you reduce your future time cooking and cleaning in the kitchen. Next, invest in paper plates. Don't feel guilty about buying paper plates. I think there's this weird guilt about buying paper plates. I rather use a good quality paper plate because I find it way more cost effective, in my opinion, than going out somewhere where I really question the validity of the food I'm eating. And I'm not having an enjoyable experience because I'm kind of like a fussy eater. I kind of like to know what I'm eating. So when I cook my own food, I am in more control. Therefore, I prefer. This is my personal taste. But just having the paper plates definitely reduces your time in the cleanup arena. And it saves you also on dishes in the dishwasher or hand washing or time. I say go for the paper plates. And if you could get them on sale, hello. And if you enjoy that, hello, go ahead. I say go for it. There are times it's just better off going for it. You know what I mean? All right, next, excuse me. Stop wasting time, effort, and energy ironing things that don't require ironing. I am baffled in the year 2022 that sometimes some people are still doing 1950s stuff. Don't get me wrong. I love the 1950s. It was great. But do we really have to iron our underwear? Just saying. Do you really have to iron a towel? I'm sorry. This is just the way I think. Maybe just because great grandma did it doesn't mean that I necessarily would want to do it. To me, that is an absolute waste of time. Ironing things that today don't require it. Back in great grandma's day, they didn't have certain fabrics that were like permanently pressed. Okay, so in their case, perhaps they needed to iron it. But just because great grandma did it doesn't mean that that need still goes. It is a waste of time, effort, energy, and definitely in some cases, sanity. All right, next, clean and organize your refrigerator every 7 to 10 days. Now, here's what I like to do. I have this little routine. You could ask Steve Young. He knows this for a fact. Every Friday morning, maybe a lot of my viewers might know this already. And for the new ones, thank you for being here, by the way. For my veteran viewers, thank you for sticking around. I appreciate and love all of you. Just to mention to you, though, that every Friday morning, I have this personal routine of which I like to keep my refrigerator at bay. I find that by doing this task once a week, I recommend once a week to every 10 days, or definitely right before your grocery haul. Definitely do this before your grocery haul. Did you ever come back with a huge amount of groceries and you didn't check out your refrigerator, which is, by the way, a money mistake right then and there, and I'll get into that in a minute, only to find you have no room, like, not a good place to be with brand new groceries sitting on the table wilting in the heat. You know what I'm saying? Attack that monster before it attacks you. You see, my monster isn't a monster. I call it a teddy bear. It could be a monster if I let it go at that. I have a certain way of which I organize my refrigerator, and I have done videos in the past showing you just that. But my refrigerator is a teddy bear every single week. Why? Because they keep the teddy bear nice and tame. So I highly recommend that you do that. Keep your refrigerator clean. Also, the reason what I was mentioning before, make sure your refrigerator is clean. That way you know your stock. If you don't know what's in your stockpile, your refrigerator stockpile, you may be spending money you don't have to. Why don't you keep some of that money? I always encourage people to try to keep some of that money. If why are you buying things you already have? If you don't know what's in your refrigerator, you may be buying stuff in the fresh produce section that you have starting to wilt already in your refrigerator from the last time. Rather than that, make sure to keep an eyeball on your refrigerator and freezer stockpile. Just saying, just saying. This is a really good way to easily keep clean and to keep your money in your wallet. Next, air fry food instead of baking in a traditional oven, especially like in the hot months. I find myself using my air fryer, literally air fryer and slow cooker. I would say is about 95% of my cooking. Like usually in May, I quit using my traditional oven usually in May and don't come back to it till about mid-September. That's me because in New York, it could get really, really hot. But cleanup wise, I have a small air fryer, perfect for a family of one or two. So for me, cleaning out my air fryer takes literally about 2 minutes. We're cleaning out my oven, big, big, big oven, takes a lot longer. So keep your cleaning at bay by using your air fryer, in my opinion, and slow cooker more often for easier cleanup. Just saying, just saying. Next, use baking soda and make a paste out of it. If you have anything that's porcelain, for example, some older units in the city or elsewhere still have like porcelain sinks, for example, and porcelain sinks or tubs. And I could tell you that when you use that baking powder, not baking powder, excuse me, baking soda and water paste, just, make a little paste. It really helps clean it out and keeps everything nice and sparkly and shiny. Next, paper towels. Listen, to me, there is no debate. Nobody's going to tell me you never need paper towels. I know people want to save money. And who wouldn't want to keep money more than me, right? I talk about this every day. It's my channel's mission. But here's where I do get a little permissive. I have no problem with suggesting that people must keep at least 2 rolls of paper towel in their home and definitely keep 1 or 2 rolls of paper towel in your car. Life can get messy, sometimes kids get a little car sick or Fido goes to the, vet, and, doesn't feel great. I'm just saying, life could get a little gross. So you have a cat that, hawks up a hairball. Hey, sorry to be gross, but this is real life. This is where you need to have paper towel, hands down. I don't care. It is not a want. It is a need in cases like that. You don't have to have 400 rolls. You don't have to use it all day, but definitely keep a couple of emergency paper towel. Not to mention, if there is a real life emergency in general in life, it's just good to have these things around in case you can't get your towels to a laundry. Never, ever forget that. So these are just simple things, simple ways that have worked for me. I guarantee you they will work for you. And don't forget, those dollar store spray bottles, they're a good investment. I have a couple of those bottles. One, I like to use vinegar, half water. I use it for various reasons. I find it cleans my mirrors great. It works great on stainless steel. For me, these items are great, okay? Definitely invest in a dish detergent that begins with letter D. You can use so little of it and get so much. I dilute mine and it still works. I don't believe in spending what looks like, this big, beautiful bottle of something, but it's cheap stuff and it doesn't work. No, I rather invest a little more money, and it actually turns out that I get a great return on my investment in every way. There you go. I know that these tips and tricks will help you. Everyone, thank you for listening. And by the way, if you found value in this video, I ask you kindly to please click on the like button and also to share this video to someone who might need it. There you go. Have an amazing, fantastic day, everybody. Thank you for your time. Take good care. Bye-bye.